generous introduction. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Toastmasters and guests. I find it I think it's my good luck today that the word of the day is cajole. And the reason why I think I'm lucky today is because it's so easy for all of us to be cajoled. In fact, it's ridiculously easy. You know, I've learned once very early on in life, don't believe something that somebody tells you until you prove it for yourself. Anybody will tell you anything, but until you have proved it for yourself, don't believe it. I'm going to prove to you that you know, it's so easy to get fooled and taken for a ride. I'd like to draw your attention to your school days. You know, all of us keep talking about school days and how it was such a wonderful time. I enjoyed my school days. Who enjoyed their school days? All of us? Devika? Yep. Devika, what was your favorite topic when you were in school? What was your favorite subject?
English.
English?
And science.
English and science, yeah. Very nice. Vedya, what was your favorite topic when you were in school?
Maths.
Maths. Ah, okay. You and I don't have a lot in common. Suman, what was your favorite topic when you were in school? Economics. Good. Very nice. Very nice. So, you know, when I was in school, my favorite subject by far was geography. I loved geography. I loved to study about the various resources of the world, the various countries of the world, which country has got what are the capital cities, what is the variety, so on and so forth. I was fascinated. I used to read volume after volume after volume. The thing is, the more I read, I started to notice quite a lot of inconsistencies. It was like one book was telling me something, and another book was telling me something completely different. And I saw a lot of contradictions. So I decided to dig deeper still. And I started to find myths that everybody believed is a fact. And I'm going to expose and bust a few of those right now in this very interesting speech, Myths, Masquerading and Facts. And I have a feeling that this speech is going to be a big eye-opener for everybody over here. So I'd like to start from the top, literally. The tallest mountain in the world. I'd like you to look at the screen, which is over here you have a picture of Mount Everest. You see, there's only one problem with that, ladies and gentlemen. Mount Everest is not the tallest mountain in the world. It isn't. Is it?
It's the tallest on the ground.
Yeah? Yeah, Devika is close. At 8.8 kilometers, Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world, but not the tallest. 8.8 kilometers from base to summit. So, what is the tallest mountain in the world?
Any Alps?
No.
Mariana Trench.
It's in the Pacific.
Oh yeah.
Devika, you're very close. But Devika, you're very smart, science student. Before I reveal which is the tallest mountain in the world, I'd like to just shed some light on what comprises the tallest mountain in the world, or what is the difference between highest and tallest. You see, tallest is your height from the base to the summit, from the base to the top. That's the tallest mountain. Your height is what is above sea level. Yeah? So Mount Everest, every single inch of Mount Everest is above sea level, which makes it the highest mountain in the world, but not the tallest. And now, what you're going to see on your screen is going to be the tallest mountain in the world. Here it comes. Can you see that? Mauna Kea in Hawaii, which is in the Pacific. With a grand height of 10.2 kilometers, ladies and gentlemen, this is your tallest mountain in the world. However, only 4.3 kilometers is above sea level. So here's a picture of Mauna Kea in Hawaii. From here to here, this distance is 4.3 kilometers. Whereas in Mount Everest, we're talking about 8.8 kilometers. But if you look at the massive chunks of mountain that are underneath the water over here, we've got a grand height of 10.2 kilometers. And just to give you a perspective, what you're going to see is a 3D rendition of Mauna Kea. This mountain over here is Mauna Kea. As you can see, this is above the sea level, and here are the massive chunks of mountain that are below the sea level. And if you were to calculate the height from here to there, that would make it the tallest mountain in the world. And I'm just going to show you one last slide to sort of drive it home. This is a comparison between Mount Everest on your left and Mauna Kea on your right. Obviously, 10.2 beats 8.8. But if you look at this blue section over here, on your right is Mauna Kea, that is the part of the mountain that is submerged in the Pacific Ocean. Whereas Mount Everest, as I pointed out earlier, every single inch of Mount Everest is above the ground. And so therefore, Mount Everest is not the tallest mountain in the world, and whatever you see in your geography textbooks, or most geography textbooks, is by and large incorrect. So that's myth number one. Now I'd like to draw your attention to myth number two. What you're going to see on your screen is an image, a satellite image. Try to identify where in the world are we.
Himalayas.
No. It could be anywhere. This could be IBM office. You don't know. This could be anywhere. Right? I'm going to show you the same place on the Earth from a different satellite and a much closer view. All right? This is the same place. Where in the world are we?
Grand Canyon?
No, we're not in the Grand Canyon. But that's a good guess. Now, I'm going to give you a hint. What you're going to see on your screen is a oval circle kind of thing. Focus on that area. The pink color oval runs from the bottom left to the top right. What could that be? Great Wall? Very nice. Great Wall of China. Fantastic. And by the way, just for the record, I'm not into pink. I don't like that color pink. But there's a very specific reason why it shows that color. Now that brings me to myth number two, ladies and gentlemen. That's a satellite image. What you have here is an Earth image of the Great Wall of China. Myth number two is the Great Wall of China is clearly visible from space. As you saw just now, the Great Wall of China is actually not clearly visible from space. There's no way in the world you can tell the Great Wall from the terrain. And in fact, this image over here tells you why the Great Wall is not visible from space. Back in the day, when the Great Wall was being built, the Great Wall was built from the rocks and the stones and the clay and the surrounding terrain. This is the Great Wall, obviously, and this over here is the surrounding terrain, comprising of rocks and stones and everything. So the workers took those stones and built the Great Wall, which means that the color of the Great Wall and the color of the surrounding terrain is almost the same, as you can see over here. So there's no way in the world you can easily identify the Great Wall from space because it's the same color. Myth number two, Great Wall of China is visible from space. Ladies and gentlemen, no, it's not. However, there is one solution in order to make the Great Wall visible in space. There's one thing that can be done. You know what it is?
Coloring pink?
Paints the Great Wall in bright fluorescent pink, and probably then you'll be able to see. It looks something like this. That's a sample right there. All right? So now I'm coming to myth number three. Now, you know, because I was such a fond student of geography, I really love the subject. I used to read, in fact I still do, I loved reading the National Geographic magazine. Right? It was the most fascinating magazine ever, in my opinion, along with Reader's Digest. So, in last month's edition, December 2013, last month's edition of National Geographic magazine, there was this very interesting article on the 5 coolest animals on the face of the earth. Right? Understood that? The 5 coolest animals. You know, fancy technical animals. 5 of them. And this myth surrounds one of those animals. Take a wild guess. What could it be? Cockroach. What's cool about the cockroach?
It can survive anywhere.
Good guess, but I'm going to reveal which one it is. We're talking about the chameleon. Just get rid of that, please. The chameleon. What makes the chameleon cool? Lots of things, actually. Did you know that the chameleon, the tongue of the chameleon is as long as its body? Which means that, as you can see with this image, if the chameleon wants to catch its prey, all it has to do is stick out its tongue and catch its prey. So its tongue is as long as its body. Just imagine if your tongue was as long as you. Can you see that nice little curly tail over there? That's another cool thing about the chameleon. Another cool thing are the eyes. Chameleons have these cup-shaped eyes that enable them to view, not 360, 180, horizontal and vertical. They can look up, down 180, and left, right, forward, back 180, not 360. So, yeah, but 2 eyes 360. They do have 360 degrees with both their eyes. One eye is able to look 180 degrees up and down, horizontal and vertical. And their eyes are able to look in 2 different directions at the same time. And lastly, if you look at their feet over there, they're nice little webbed feet over there. Right? So lots of things that are cool about the chameleon. But undoubtedly, the coolest thing is their ability to blend in. their ability to change color. That's probably the coolest thing, and that's the reason why they were so high on that list. You see, there's only one problem with that. There's this myth that chameleons can change their color of their skin to blend in with the surroundings. That's actually not true. Chameleons do change their color. They are able to change their color, but not on the surrounding. It's not like, oh, this is a brown table, let me change myself to brown color. It doesn't work that way. Chameleons change color based on emotion. Tomorrow, or when a chameleon is feeling threatened, or frightened, or wants to attract attention, that's when chameleons change color. For example, we also change color. When we are angry, our cheeks and face become pink or red. Likewise with chameleons, when they are threatened, they change color, but not because of the surroundings. And what you see over here is 4 chameleons blended very, very well into the surrounding. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not the same chameleon. There are 4 different species of chameleons. Like how you have so many different species of dogs, likewise you have so many different species of chameleons. This is not the same chameleon blending in 4 different scenarios. It's 4 different chameleons. And so the bottom line is chameleons do not change based on surrounding. They change their skin based on their emotions and what they're feeling at that point in time. So the bottom line is, and I might have overshot my time, I'm sorry about that, but the bottom line is, ladies and gentlemen, it's so easy to get cajoled and swept off your feet. My suggestion to you is don't get fooled so easily. Always ask questions, always dig deeper. And on that note, I'd like to hand it back to you.